What is going on today, guys? If you look on below me, you will see the new logo for the new segment, I guess you could called Tuesday Night Football. It's essentially my picks for next week and then the recaps of all the games from the past week. So like tonight, I'm going over week 4 game picks next week, and then I'm going over the games that happened in week 3. So like, as on the screen you can see the Dolphins and the Jaguars score of 31-13. That was last Thursday, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, we're going to get right into the scores and the recaps of what I think happened in the game, or what I think just about the teams in general. So, as many of you know, I am a Detroit Lions fan, like die hard, even though they are not good in any aspect of the word. But to start off, we're going to go with the Dolphins and Jaguars. The Dolphins just outplayed the Jaguars. General Minshew Mania, the hype train that was on, just hit a wall and completely collapsed. There's no way around that. That just was not a pretty game, to say the least. The rookie, I can't remember his name, I think it's James Robinson, had a pretty good game, even though they lost. Ryan Fitzpatrick, or as you can rather call it in this game, Ryan Fitzmagic, just went completely off. When I was picking for Yahoo Sports, I picked the Dolphins to win this game anyway, so not much of a surprise to me there, just because I think the Dolphins are a better built team as of right now, with Brian Flores being one of the most underrated coaches. Into the next game, the Bears-Falcons. The Falcons are just not good. I don't know how else to put it. Falcons, just after the Super Bowl collapse against the Patriots, they have not been able to sustain a good season yet. I believe that this is the fourth quarter lead by double digits that they've blown this year. They did it week 1 against I think they played the Seahawks week 1. And I know 2 for sure. I don't remember who they played last week. But this one was 3 touchdowns, I believe, and then Nick Foles came in and just completely pulled what he did in the Super Bowl run a couple years ago and completely dominated their entire defense altogether. But overall, I think it's a good move for the Bears. Even though I'm a Lions fan, I think the Mitch Trubisky project was just a complete and utter bust. I don't think Mitch Trubisky deserved to go number 2 overall, and they traded a lot to go from number 3 overall in the 2017 draft to number 2, the 49ers, because the 49ers and John Lynch completely baited them. Yeah, the Bears, I mean, they're 3-0. Nobody expected it with Mitch Trubisky at the helm for 2.5 games, so it's a pleasant surprise for most Bears fans. Rams, Bills. Bills almost blew a 28-3 lead, just like the Falcons in that Super Bowl. But Josh Allen threw what you can say is a Hail Mary pass to that tight end in the end zone, and it ended up being caught. So Josh Allen is slowly turning into one of the good/great quarterbacks in the league right in front of us, after people had very serious doubts about him last year at the end when he had that kind of collapse. Right on into the football team versus the Browns. Football team just hasn't put it together. They don't have the offensive weapons to support Dwayne Haskins besides Terry McLaurin. They don't have tight ends. Their offensive line without Trent Williams isn't good. They don't have a real stud running back after Darius Geis. They cut Darius Geis, and I think they cut Adrian Peterson. I'm not sure. I think they did. Defensive line is amazing. Chase Young, Matt Ioannidis, Daron Payne, Ryan Kerrigan. The defensive line is stud worthy, one of the best in the NFL, but they just can't rely on a defensive line to win a game, you know what I mean? The Titans-Vikings game, Titans win by 1 point. Vikings fall to 0-3. Before the season, I predicted the Vikings to not do very good this year. I expected Kirk Cousins to take a very big regression backwards, and as I predicted, he has. He's got probably, I'm not sure, but I think he's got one of the lowest QBRs in the league right now, which doesn't surprise me. Kirk Cousins has never been that elite quarterback that Minnesota paid him to be. But I think If I remember seeing it right across the bottom of my screen on Sunday, the Derrick Henry had 2 rushing touchdowns back to back to put him in the lead. So Derrick Henry is just a monster, one of the best in the NFL right now. The Raider-Patriot game, 36-20. Score does not do justice to the Raiders. The score looks a lot worse than what the game actually was. Granted, the Raiders did not play up to how they played the previous Monday night against the Saints, or even the week before that against the Panthers, when they went to Carolina and pretty much put Teddy Bridgewater and Christian McCaffrey on their backs. But like I said, the score doesn't the score doesn't do the Raiders justice. They played not too good, but in a matter of 7 seconds, the Patriots scored 14 points. So that's kind of what blew the score out of proportion from what the game was actually played at. The 49ers completely destroyed both New York teams. This one was the Giants, 36-9. Without Jimmy Garoppolo, without Raheem Mostert, without Nick Bosa, without Solomon Thomas, Jerick McKinnon, who hasn't played football in 2 years, was their lead back and went off against the Giants defense. Giants without Saquon is a train wreck. Daniel Jones doesn't have it to put the team on his back like some quarterbacks in the NFL do, and it showed. It truly showed that the Giants are just nothing without Saquon. Even with Saquon, they're not really that good. They need to put some more pieces around Daniel Jones, whether it be on the outside or on the offensive line or even on the defense. Jabril Peppers left this game mid-game too, so that's a big blow to them. Now to a head-scratcher, as what the hell is happening to the Eagles. They tie the Bengals 23-23, and Joe Burrow looks better than Carson Wentz at the moment, which is crazy to say, as Carson Wentz was on his way to an MVP just a couple years ago. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this game. I didn't watch it. It didn't seem that appealing. The only reason that I would have watched it in the first place was to see Joe Burrow. I saw T. Higgins got his first career touchdown in that game, which is cool to see. But we're just going to move right into the Texans-Steelers game. 28-21. This is probably the expected outcome after the Houston Texans decided to hit the self-destruct button in the offseason and trade DeAndre Hopkins for a washed-up running back and a second-round pick. Not a good move. Texans just don't have it anymore. You know, Deshaun Watson with DeAndre Hopkins was a lethal combo, and you got rid of your best wide receiver, a top 3, maybe even number 1 wide receiver in the NFL for a running back that was good 3 years ago before multiple injuries. Can't expect to win games like that. Texans dropped to 0-3, and Steelers improved to 3-0, which is not that surprising. Big Ben coming back with vengeance, just like Aaron Rodgers after they drafted his replacement in Jordan Love. Benny Snell and James Conner are a lethal duo in the backfield. Juju's finally having the year that everyone expected him to have last year after Antonio Brown left. Defense is great with T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, Cameron Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick. There's just so many studs on that defense. Straight into the Jets-Colts game. I mean, neither New York team is good. The Jets are even worse than the Giants. I think the Sam Darnold project, along with the Mitch Trubisky project, I think should end right now. I think the Jets should seek a different option, because Sam Darnold, like he said last year, was seeing ghosts because he didn't do anything in that game. Granted, he doesn't have the pieces and the head coach and the defense and all that stuff, but he just hasn't looked any way of the part of a NFL quarterback through 3 years now. Philip Rivers finally looks good, if you want to say that. I mean, 36 points is what an offense wants to score, but didn't watch this game, if I'm being honest. Panthers-Chargers, 21-16. Panthers finally pull out a win. It's Justin Herbert's second start. He's going to have growing pains, and I'm pretty sure he threw an interception that pretty much ended the game. Let me look. Load, please. No, a fumble. I don't know. Oh, that might be it right there, the interception. I don't know. Justin Herbert's just having growing pains, even though he looks really good for being a rookie. How he played last week against Chiefs, and then how he played this week against Panthers. He looks really good. He's just gotta, get past those first couple weeks of nerves and whatever he's got going on, being a rookie quarterback and all that. Straight into a surprise game, to me at least, was the Lions beating the Cardinals 26-23 to improve 1-2. Can't go 0-16 this year, I guess, is what you can say about that. I mean, the Lions didn't really play good. The defense had 3 picks on Kyler Murray, which surprised me a lot. Jeff Okudah, the 3rd overall pick, got his first career interception. Matt Stafford, I think, had a hell of a game. And right along there with Matt Prater, who should, if he keeps kicking field goals like that, should be the MVP of the entire league. Granted, that's Lions bias, but Kyler Murray didn't look good in this game. 3 picks. Rushed for a touchdown and threw a touchdown, I think, or 2 touchdowns, I'm not sure. I didn't get to watch this game because the stupid Bronco game was on. But Kenny Galladay's first game back looked really good. Didn't look like that injury was hindering him at all. Straight into the game I had to watch, unfortunately, was Buccaneers destroying the Broncos 28-10 at home. Jeff Driscoll's just not a starting caliber quarterback. He's just not good whatsoever. Tom Brady looks like he finally got his mojo with the nice weapons that he had on the outside, but now Chris Godwin's out. We'll have to see what they do with that. Straight into the Cowboys-Seahawks game, 38-21 Seahawks. I'm going to be honest, I didn't get to watch this game, but as I read that stat at the bottom right there, Russell Wilson, 14 passing touchdowns in the first 3 weeks, and is an NFL record. I think this is the year that, if any, Russell Wilson has a chance to finally win an MVP or at least get votes, because I don't know how he hasn't got any votes in his entire career. But from an article that I read, it sounds like Jerry Jones is pretty tired of Dak Prescott not winning in big moments like that. But you got to be understanding that it's the Seahawks. The Seahawks are always good with Russell Wilson. The Seahawks always have a chance with Russell Wilson. Straight into the Packers-Saints game, 37-30. Drew Brees just doesn't look like he has it anymore. If I'm being honest, I know it's going to be a real hurtful thing to say to Saints fans, but he just doesn't look like he's got the zip in his arm anymore. He doesn't look like he can throw a ball farther than 10 yards without it blowing out his shoulder. But in that sake, it was a lot closer than I thought. And if you watch the Alvin Kamara run, that was insane. I think he broke like 8 tackles on that run or something like that. And then finally, to last night's game, the Chiefs-Ravens, 34-20 Chiefs. I think what you can take away from that is Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, and I don't even think it's close. Like, granted, I think Russell Wilson could win the MVP this year, but Patrick Mahomes is overall just an amazing quarterback. He can run, throw. He can throw from a sidearm 90-yard touchdown, I think, if he wanted to. Another thing you got to take away from that game is the Ravens aren't built to come from behind in the second half. They're more of a chew-the-clock running team who likes to play with the lead, and they just never had the opportunity to do that in this game. They were forcing Lamar Jackson to do things he's not as comfortable with, like throwing the ball into tight windows down the field. So Chiefs defense actually looked like they were going to come alive, and then the Ravens defense just looked like they couldn't stop anything. They couldn't stop a fucking a leaky boat. I don't know. I forgot the saying last second there, but they couldn't stop Tyreek Hill when they needed to. They couldn't stop Sammy Watkins when they needed to. They couldn't stop Clyde Edwards-Helaire when they needed to, and they certainly couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes when they needed to. So they lose that game by 14 points. I still don't think that the Ravens are a bad team by any means after that loss. I still think they're probably one of the best teams overall in the NFL just because of the roster that they have, but with the talent that the Chiefs have, I don't think they can keep up. Now into the game picks for Week 4. I'm going to pick the I don't know who to pick for Thursday. Broncos at Jets. I mean, they're both really bad teams. The Broncos are starting Brett Rypien. I mean, who knows if that's going to help. It's probably a little bit, if anything, better than Jeff Driscoll. I mean, I just I'll pick the Broncos to maybe win by 3 points, maybe. I don't expect that to be a very high-scoring game with both offenses having very little to no offensive power. The Broncos are playing the Jets at the Jets. Sorry, I got Brandon in my ear. So I'll just pick the Broncos to win 17-14 if that, maybe even 13-10 if it gets that high. Next game, Cardinals Panthers. I believe the Cardinals and Kyler Murray have a bounce back game after the performance at Detroit. I think the Cardinals kind of overlooked Detroit after seeing them play how they played against the Bears and Packers the week before, just not even probably even showing up, they think, and got punched in the mouth. I think the Cardinals probably win by 7 here. I'll say 27-20. Moving into the Colts Bears, I think the Colts probably take this game, but who knows with Nick Foles now at the helm until further notice from Matt Nagy. I'll probably take the Colts though by like 3, 23-20. Jaguars Bengals, another just what'll happen in this game. Bengals still have won a game, but they also didn't lose that last game, so I'll pick the Bengals to finally get the first win on the board. 20-17, we'll say. Browns Cowboys, I think this game can go very high scoring just because of the offensive firepower for the Browns, and then the Cowboys needing to prove something to Jerry Jones that they are not the team that he thinks they are. So I'll pick the Browns winning by 3. 30, what would that score be? 38-35, we'll say. Saints and Lions, I believe with Michael Thomas out and Drew Brees not being able to throw a ball more than 3 yards, I think the Lions have a chance here, depending on how the defense plays. But I will safely pick the Saints to win by 3, 20-17, even though I think that could go either way, the Saints or Lions winning. Vikings, Texans, both 0-3, both not very good, both just showing that they are not a team that can sustain consistency. Those are the same. Those words mean the same, but they can't keep the same consistency that they have over the past couple of years in being playoff teams. I'll pick the Vikings. No, I'll go surprise. I'll pick the Texans to win by 7, 17-10. Seahawks, Dolphins. Seahawks are going to demolish the Dolphins. I don't even know if this game will be televised to anyone just because of the massacre that's going to happen to the Dolphins. I'll pick the Seahawks to win by 14, 34, 20, maybe if the Dolphins even get that. Chargers and Buccaneers. I'll probably go with the Bucks by 7, 27-20. Just because if Tyrod Taylor's not back, even though that's not going to make much of a difference from Justin Herbert, Tyrod Taylor's back, it might be a little bit more consistent. But yeah, we'll go 27-20. Steelers at Titans, both 3-0 teams, both leaders of the division. I will pick the Titans to win by 3 just because Derrick Henry's rushing ability feels like it's more sustainable than what the Steelers have been doing. We'll pick them to win by 3, 17-14. With both defenses being as good as they are, I believe it'll get to a very high-scoring game. And with the Titans' rushing approach to chew clock and stuff like that, I don't think it'll the Steelers have much time to push the envelope. Ravens at football team, I think the Ravens have a very good bounce back year against a very awful team. Or not year, game. I'll pick the Ravens to win by 10. 23-13 maybe. Giants at Rams. Rams are going to, like the 49ers just did to them, they're going to steamroll them. Pick the Rams to win by 14, 24-10. Patriots at Chiefs, this is going to be a really good game. I wish that this game was a Sunday night game over the Eagles 49ers, but we shall pick the Chiefs just because I don't think the Patriots with the same attack that the Ravens are going to have rushing the ball, chewing the clock. I'll pick the Chiefs to win 35-28. So they win by 7 there. Bills Raiders. The guy in my ear is not going to like this pick, but I think the Bills are going to win by 3. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I think it could go either way, really, if the Raiders and Darren Waller specifically have a bounce-back game. I think that the Raiders could easily win this game by 3, but I'm going to pick the Bills to win by 3, 17-14, and they'll probably go higher score than that. Eagles, 49ers. Eagles are not good. Carson Wentz is looking like he's not the Carson Wentz that was a couple years ago. I'll pick the 49ers to win by 10, 24-14. And then the Monday night game with the Falcons and the Packers. Packers probably destroy the Falcons here, but maybe the Falcons have a wake-up moment that they need to do something so Dan Quinn doesn't lose his job. We'll do Packers win by 3, but a very close game. Coming down to the wire, 17-14. And that'll do it for this week's iteration of Tuesday Night Football. I almost said Thursday because that's what it is in real life and not my channel. But I will pick next week's, and I'll go over this week's recap next week's episode. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button down below. Comment what you think your favorite team is going to do, or if I was wrong with your favorite team. And make sure to subscribe to the channel just because I want to see the channel grow to people that it might not grow without your subscription. So, thanks again for watching, you guys. If you think I'm awful at predicting games or awful at recapping games, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And if you're the other way and you think I'm good at recapping games, or you think I'm good at picking and you agree with me, let me know down in the comments as well. So I'm going to get to recording a Warzone Wednesday episode with Brandon, and then you guys will see that tomorrow. So I don't think I got anything else for you. Brandon says goodbye.